Hi, I'm homosexual Brian Safi.
And I'm feminist Erin Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues. No,
LGBT
why?
What do you mean? That was right.
That's not how we start. It is?
Yeah.
Losing my mind.
Or am I losing my mind? Can you handle it? Erin, I don't need your Laffy Taffy, Amelia Bedelia, red rose red energy.
Oh, listen. Oh, you think that's what I'm doing with my braids?
No, I didn't know what you were. I'm just saying you're Daffy Duck today based on that intro.
Oh, well, I'm taking this new medicine.
Uh-oh.
It's, I don't know what it is. It's supposed to help with.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Then I'm glad you're taking medicine. You don't know what it is.
It's for my Hashimoto's disease, which does not present like in a very bad way, but it presents in some small ways, like inflammation and some brain fog.
Got it. But you didn't find this medicine on the floor, right? I mean, it was prescribed.
I wasn't prescribed by a spin bike.
Okay, perfect.
No,
perfect.
But I was prescribed by a doctor here who, by the way, she was like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to treat Americans." And I was like, "Oh my God." And then she was mistaken because she's also a
she's
naturopath.
Also out of her mind.
Yeah. Anyway, this very authoritative person has put me on
She
this.
should have a list of countries in her office that says which country she can and cannot treat.
I was like, this is a very strange way to, to get retribution against American tariffs is to tell me you can't treat me.
To wound the sick.
She put me on this medicine, an anti-inflammatory thing. And she said, well, full disclosure, they used this to treat people with opioid addiction. And I was like, okay. Then she said, I'm going to put you on a light dosage. And I was like, and she goes, it does have some side effects.
What are they?
Insomnia and nightmares. And I was like, baby, ready. Already having them. Can't stop me. Can't make it worse.
You know what gives me? NyQuil has always given me nightmares. I always dream of like a Wolverine or something running after me. Oh
my God. Do you think it has like wolf, like
it's always a
spirit
wolf.
in it?
It's always a wolf. And it's usually a wolf man. But I can't tell if he's sexy because I'm running too fast and I don't want to look behind me.
But you do think he might be sexy.
He could be sexy.
There's a possibility he's sexy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's not about the fear. It's about the FOMO.
What is?
You running from the wolf man.
Well, honestly,
you're running from your own sexual desires that you like to fuck wolf men.
Maybe next time I'll let the wolf man catch up with me.
See what happens.
Yes, honey.
See if you get yourself in a Bram Stoker's Dracula 1990s movie.
Will he bite me or will he lick me? You understand?
Yeah, or tear you to shreds. You don't know.
Rip me from end to end. It's
right from the throat out.
So, okay. So you
pull your spine out like a fish.
Okay, I'm done. So did you try this medicine? Have you had the nightmare?
I had it last night.
And?
Not nightmares. Insomnia. But also I had coffee at 5 p.m. So I don't know. Who's to know? I'm really taking care of myself. I did want to tell you two things.
Can I have a few more questions though? How does it work making a doctor's appointment there? Did you do it through your work or like?
I did it through the Jane app.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Is that like a?
Vigaro?
Okay. Another word. No.
It's like an app. You know the app that has all the yoga studios in the whole world on it?
That's how you found your doctor?
Mind Body?
Oh, yeah.
You found
the doctor on Mind Body?
Well, no, there's a version of that called the Jane app for medical practitioners.
Got it. Okay,
but mostly it's Botox people, but they happen to use it at this place.
Okay, good. Great.
So it's all in the up and up. It's all in the up and up.
Yeah.
She put me on St. John's wort and this stuff that gives me psychotic nightmares. So it's all good. It's East-West.
I love that. Classic East-West. That's nice. And so how long did you have to wait? Like how long
to get into the doctor?
Signing up to get it. Yes, exactly.
3 days.
Oh, that's not bad.
3 days. And I also got all my medicine was compounded. So it was made like.
So they did it there?
Witch in a pestle.
Oh, I love that.
You know?
I love that. Yes.
And the meds were cheap.
Nice.
I mean, here's the thing. It's socialized medicine up here, even if you're an American.
Right.
So thank you. But I also did get pulled over again.
What happened? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you have to make another charitable donation?
No, I did get a ticket. I did a U-turn in a business district, but I got freaked out because it's hard to park here like LA.
Right.
And I was really hungry, and there was a restaurant that I wanted to try, and a parking spot opened up on the other side of the road.
Honestly, I'm on your side, by the way, but keep going. I'm totally
I did a U-turn. There was nobody coming. I did a U-turn. Here's the gag. In my mind, I go, I don't see any cop cars. I think it's a good time to do this.
Yeah.
The
would have done the
police
same thing, by the
officer
way.
Was in a minivan, an unmarked minivan that suddenly, Transformer style, turned into a cop car.
Wow.
They are under the radar here. He said, do you know why I pulled you over? I go, it has to be the illegal turn I did in the business district.
Honestly, that's some long kiss goodnight stunt. Was it like a single mom secretary?
Yes, exactly. Okay. My kid's in danger. I got to he said, was there an emergency? And I said, I saw a parking spot. And honestly, I saw a glimmer in his eye where he got it.
He clocked it, yeah.
But then I said, I'm American, I'm sorry. And he was like, that's okay. Some of my best friends are American. And I said, okay, well.
Sub that with any other thing. And it gets real tricky.
Because he was an older gentleman. And Sergio's, okay, yes, it kind of did look like that, but it was smaller. It wasn't like a pass van. No, it was like a person doing carpool. Mom soccer practice carpool in the 80s.
It wasn't like airport pickup.
It was an Astro van just for comps. It wasn't an Astro van, but it was like an Astro van. It was gray. Yeah. I was like, surely this mother of six isn't going to pull me over.
Surely this team of soccer kids isn't going to come out and assault me right now.
These children eating their PBs and J's with the cuss cut off.
But their socks pulled all the way up, honey.
No. Who just didn't win a game, didn't lose a game, because that's not how they do it anymore.
I don't need a lot of Rugrats coming out here with orange Gatorade stains all over their, cheeks. That was the thing. It was a child, so he had to put a little ladder. He had to take a little ladder, like a half ladder. See, that's fun.
Put it against my car and crawl up.
Yeah. Did you pay him in Starbursts?
I'm going to have to issue you a citation.
You know what would be nice if they just had like a card reader with the police?
Let's just take care of it. Yeah, exactly. You're already doing it. You're already printing something out in a vehicle.
Exactly.
Yes, that's exactly what it looked like, Sergio.
Wow.
Look at this.
That's kind of sleek, especially for a minivan. That's not bad. I
got pulled over by a pedestrian car. By the way, how am I supposed to know I'm not going to get human trafficked? Because how am I supposed to trust this? I
agree with you.
It
would be very sus if they were like, sorry, that was an illegal turn. You need to get in my van. Then I would be like,
I don't think so.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to need backup.
This guy, I do wonder if I didn't tread into a weird territory, because he was like, some of my best friends are American. And I was like, oh, okay, well, apologies for doing an illegal move as an American. I'm sure we don't need the PR right now.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's just politics. I wouldn't get involved. And I was like, oh, you're a conservative. Oh, I just got a fucking all lives matter guy in Canada. So then I did this Texas style.
Zipped your lip. Sure.
And I shut the fuck up.
Or smeared on lipstick. I can't.
Oh, I put on, you know what I did? I got my toothpick that you sent me. Pick. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I said, pardon me, officer, I know I haven't eaten, but I did have a really leafy lunch, and it's still floating around in there.
Do you mind if I eat my lipstick? Thanks.
But here's what I wanted to share with you.
Yes.
Because I think you're going to really be excited about this news.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is news for everyone on this podcast.
Yeah.
Not just Brian. But huge Thomas Kinkade news right now.
You love Thomas Kinkade. Let's be honest. You bring him up a couple times a year.
Well, listen, if you grew up in Texas during a certain time.
I'm very familiar.
You went to Claire's, and then you went to Discovery Store, and then you went to Thomas Kinkade. Those were the three things. You didn't go on purpose to Thomas Kinkade, but you were drug into Thomas Kinkade, painter of light. So there's a new documentary about him.
You're kidding.
Which is supposed to be, it got a bunch of awards at South by Southwest.
Wow, it must be pretty good.
It's a very candid look at his other works. I kind of want to show you, you're not going to believe this.
Wow.
This is Thomas Kinkade's other work.
Oh my God,
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is it's called
describe a Thomas Kinkade typical work.
Before. Thomas Kinkade, painter of life. So he would do a Bob Ross-esque kind of like cottage near a brook.
Yeah.
He would do a mountain with a bespoke deer.
Mountains, streams,
yes.
That kind of stuff.
Always at a distance as if you're stalking someone.
Mm-hmm.
You're either stalking a home or nature.
You're not wrong.
And then he decided that his words, in the spirit of Andy Warhol, he wanted, I guess Andy Warhol had once said he wants to just push a button and print all of his art out so everyone can have it.
Yes.
But then Thomas Kinkade took that literally and mixed in some actual capitalism. And he did that and he opened mall stores. And then there were different versions of his paintings. So if you got an original Thomas Kinkade, which were very expensive, that was like, let's say 10 grand. Then there were apprentices under him who would paint
I can't believe this.
The light. He was called the painter of light by a marketing branding expert.
Right, because he was like reviled critically. Everyone thought he was an absolute piece of shit.
Yes, because he was a sellout, I guess. And I think the documentary gets into it, but the documentary also talks very frankly with his family because he's dead. He died at like 52 after he heckled.
He looks like Dr. Phil with a full head of hair. I never knew that.
Yes.
I never knew what he looked like.
You're going to see him in a whole different light.
Oh, cute.
After I show you his real paintings. But he kind of imprisoned himself because he made this name for himself, this very granular artistic endeavor with like extreme bumpers and rigid rules. And so when there's no way to actually show the stuff that he liked painting. So this is a documentary about 6,000 of his other paintings.
My goodness, how prolific.
That are stored in Placerville, California.
Are any of the others called, there's a painting he did called Gazebo of Prayer?
I think that this is a lesson in perception versus true self. I think much like the people who, Brian, from the shoes of the past and probably the present.
Yeah, sure.
The people who accuse other people of doing perverted things, but while they pretend that they're light and bright and on the right side of ethics, often have a dark river flowing through them.
No, honey, I had one this morning.
What?
I don't know what I ate last night. A dark river. Is that what you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you? I have thoughts. Could I reverse engineer what food I think you had?
Yeah.
Mole.
Arroz con pollo. So same genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it to me too.
Yeah.
I think you might have an Irish stomach. I know it's not your background, but your stomach might be Irish.
You know Sinead O'Connor. Anyway.
Tell me about Sinead O'Connor, and then I'm going to show you the most goth shit you've ever seen in your life.
Well, Sinead O'Connor just had this. I was watching something of hers recently when she was young, and she was talking about the, potato famine in Ireland and saying like, the reason there was the famine is because there wasn't a famine.
It was called the Great Hunger.
Because basically what happened was any meat, fish, anything was sent right to England. Because, England just took all their resources essentially.
Yep.
And so that's why everyone was starving, because they didn't keep anything they had grown. They didn't get to keep.
Also, when they immigrated to America, a lot of them didn't make it. Do you know about coffin ships?
No, but I'm
So, okay. Basically, like they would lose like 70%. The people were already so famished and starving that by the time they got to the ship, they were already dead.
It's awful.
So the fact that England just has been like, my bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no wonder Ireland's in the EU.
Okay, are you ready to see Thomas Kinkade's real art?
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Wow.
It's a goth child.
Yeah, a little bit porcelain doll.
Paint all, it kind of looks like Jack White. Let's be honest.
It fully looks like Jack White.
And paint all over him.
Yeah.
Light from a single source light bulb and then darkness in the background.
And the paint on him is mostly red. It kind of looks like blood.
No, it's goth as hell. Okay, ready? It's not even it. That's not it.
No, it isn't.
Hold on. That's a JP Morgan ad. Okay, so this is what Thomas Kinkade stuff looks like.
Right.
This is what he sold.
Cottage by a stream. Yes.
Yes. Smoke.
Stunning.
There's a source. So they would, so he would pay people, see the like white on here and the all the light colors, he would pay people. It would be different versions. So if like you had like 20, it was like a flat print, and then he would have people color in the white, the lightness, the light, okay, the reflections. And then there were different levels. So depending on what, it was basically a pyramid scheme. Whatever level the painter was below him would paint more light or less light. So you could buy a print, that was the cheapest, or you could buy a print where just the chimney stack was painted in by somebody. That was a little more expensive. Then you could buy a version where it's the chimney stack plus the brook plus the white flowers. Then it was the next level was chimney stack, stream, white flowers, the mist in the background. So like it went up in price depending on how many hand painted elements were on the print. So you could have this
Jennifer
print.
Convertibles.
It's Jennifer Convertibles. This print, 7 different versions, 7 different prices, same art.
Wow.
Okay. So anyway, that's him painting a small child.
Front of a doll.
That's a child holding a pink umbrella.
Okay.
He looks chill, huh?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, but look at this one. Look at this.
Man and shit. These look like George W. Bush's paintings, to be honest with you. This is a man just showering, nude.
What is the pose? He's like lizard arms.
Yeah. It's
as if he's a velociraptor.
It's very bat dance. Yeah, exactly.
It's very bad dance. Anyway, I thought as a patron of the art, you would be interested in. I do legitimately want to see this documentary. It sounds like.
Wait, you didn't see it? You just knew all this shit?
I get ArtNet.
Okay, right.
In my inbox.
Yeah.
So I can stay cultured.
I get HairNet.
Oh, I
buy HairNet.
Aquanet. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
For when I cook or even think about cooking, because I don't really cook that much.
I love that. And what's your red wine vinegar situation on that?
My red wine vinegar situation? Are you talking about my song?
Yeah. Wait, how does it go again?
Don't you come in my face with all that shit. I got my red wine vinegar on lifts. Yeah, I put my vinegar in heels, and we stopped together down the street to your place. Get out of my face.
What was the album that was on called? Was
Heels.
Yeah. And I can't remember, was it all food themed plus heels, or was it like anything plus heels?
Yeah, exactly. If you wanna see me late at night, you're gonna get a real fright. I'll be wearing sexy leggings and heels. My banana will too.
Now, what's interesting is that you had an opportunity to rhyme peel with heel.
Yeah.
And you didn't take it.
No. Because it's, does that make sense?
Too obvious. Yeah, I get it. You're always about the turns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that was a banana. I guess that was a banana themed one.
Yeah, bananas and
banana heels and then red wine vinegar and heels. So the food items don't connect at all. It's not thematic in that way.
No, I mean, don't you eat vinegar and bananas? Or not really?
I guess it wouldn't be bad. It's a sweet.
You put vinegar. Sometimes people put vinegar in strawberries.
So what's the difference? I see no difference. What's the difference between a banana and a strawberry? I dare you to tell me.
Yeah, I can't. Now,
and
Erin,
did that album only have 2 songs, or was it a full length, or was it? That was the double album, right?
It was a double album, so there were 3 songs. Yeah.
Oh, so you had one. So one album had a song on each side, and then you had another album with just one song and a blank side.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the third song?
Chug, chug. No, I'm not a train. Chug, chug. I'll flip you off, baby. Chug, chug. Coming to my house, get something back. And that back is a knife. And my knife wears heels.
So not really food related, because it could just be any kind of knife. Oh, that's
true. God damn it. I should have thought of that before I released it.
Well, that's why you put that on the second, the double.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that was smart.
Thanks.
That was, and by the way, that is the song that bankrupted Island Records, correct?
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah.
They're done with. That killed them.
Yeah.
Erin, we've got quite a show today.
Oh, I can't wait. Do you have anything personal to tell me other than your albums?
I don't think so, really. I mean, I've been watching Adolescence. There's a guy at my gym who looks like Peter Pan and acts like him. Like literally, I'll be working out and I'll look over and he'll be like hanging from the ceiling or like upside down on a dumbbell. It's just so confusing.
Does he wear a green hat that looks like the kind of shape of hat they wear at In-N-Out Burger, but with a feather inside?
He doesn't. I wish he did. And I don't know. I just had to work all weekend. It wasn't very fun.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm trying to do Edinburgh this summer, but I didn't realize I was so late in the game. So I've had to like amp everything. I got a publicist, but I need a promoter and I need to nail down the venue, and the deadline is in a week and a half. So
have you talked to anybody who's done Edinburgh, or are you just are you winging it?
No. I've gotten a lot of advice. So
okay.
But the problem is they opened all that stuff in November to apply. I didn't realize that. So, and the deadline's April 9th. So, I mean, it's just going to be very difficult. I might just have to do it next year. But if anyone has any leads or knows anybody, I would love to hear about it. But you probably don't because it's so late. Anyway.
You're asking for, hold on, just to be clear.
Hello?
You, an American, are asking for special treatment in Europe right now?
I'm asking for recommendations.
It sounds like you're asking to skip the line.
Are you out of your mind? I'm in the back of the line. I'm asking if anyone knows a promoter or one of the, I've applied to 5 different venues and I want to know if anyone knows anyone.
I know
Forget it.
I know some people.
Who?
Mr. Edinburgh. He won. It's not who you think. It's not the mayor. He just won a beauty competition, but he has connections. Yeah.
Would you mind passing my info along with him?
He only knows how to do sashes. So he goes out in his underwear and he wears a sash of your show.
I see. That's the campaign.
And gets people in. Yeah. Okay. He does dry hump strangers but on your behalf.
Why? Oh.
Just to, like to.
Well, listen, if that'll get people in seats, then that sounds great.
Yeah, it will. Because Europe's different rules altogether. Yeah.
Okay. But by the way, in addition to that, this week we have Vault episode 84, where Erin, you went to the 2013 Pride Parade and you start advocating for horse rights. I think that's great. I tell the story of
I look happy in this photo. That's what's cool about this photo.
You look cute. I mean, I don't know. You seem to look happier to me now.
I'm much happier now.
Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I tell the story of my Hope Floats tattoo and admit that I have a crush on the question mark man who used to be in those how to get money from the government infomercials. Yeah,
those days are over.
I don't know why I'm in this photo.
Oh, this is because you were showing off. This is from Funny or Die, and you were showing off your tattoo that no one ever gets to see.
I guess so.
Except for people hunched over jerking off into their own socks
Hips
or whatever.
Forward, yeah, the tube socks high. Absolutely. We have a new Dateline this week. Honey, we're back in Washington State. We're back near Moses Lake where we've been before, but this time we're in Yakima County. There's a new Dateline correspondent, Blaine Alexander.
That sounds like a porn star.
It's such a good name. It really is like, it sounds like Courtney, what would, like in Scream, the newscaster would be named Blaine Alexander. It sounds like a TV, like a, fake.
But tell them how Blaine is spelled.
Blayne. I got to tell you, she's phenomenal.
Game recognized game with that Y in the middle.
And this one involves a cool art teacher, a menage a trois. And
does the art teacher wear large Prue Leith style necklaces?
Yeah, she's a statement jewelry person.
Great. Okay.
and a very questionable headstone. But hey, it's not my taste, but it's somebody's. You can also buy individual episodes and video episodes of Dateline recaps and this new thing we're doing without subscribing. You could do that for $3 each at patreon.com/attitudes. We were shoe $10 and up. This time we're doing discontinued snacks, foods, and drinks from the 80s, 90s, and
Is Oline on it? Sergio?
I know WoW is on it. And of course, we're on YouTube. Get the first act of our video episodes every week for free. You can find us by searching Attitudes Pod, join the Discord, all of those things. You want to get into some shoes?
Let's do it.
Well, history has been made yet again. And every day history is made, because even if nothing happens that day, historically, it's never been that day before.
Great point.
That's some like Pippi Longstocking logic. You know, I really hate Pippi Longstocking. And
is it because I have braids now?
No, although you do have braids. I don't like a troublemaker, and she's that.
Is she a troublemaker?
She wreaks havoc everywhere she goes. Are you kidding me? And then
what about Inspector Gadget? I haven't heard you talk about how much you dislike Inspector Gadget.
Because I'm a penny, and I don't like Inspector Gadget.
Okay.
I'm a penny. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm the kids in the Cat in the Hat who were like, please stop doing this. We're really nervous.
Yes.
I'm those people.
I've never identified with children more in my life than the Cat in the Hat.
Me too. Coming in and just like trying to ruin their home. And their parents are like British and strict.
What is the point of the Cat in the Hat?
Hang on. I guess to let loose every once in a while.
Disagree.
Hard.
You know what happens when I let loose? I'm inflamed the next day.
I'll
tell you that much.
Me? Absolutely. I mean, it's Dark River. Effective May 7th.
Oh, I think I can have a roasted pepper? Absolutely not.
No. Risks with food those days are gone.
I did forget that they love to put bell peppers on everything up here. I had forgotten. And then I started I would get like a burrito and there would be a bell pepper in it. And I was like, this is not correct. This is not, you don't put a raw bell pepper in a burrito.
I don't know. Is that not good? No, it's not. They should be roasted.
You put it on raw bell peppers on hamburgers, which you can only get.
I've never in my life heard of that.
Raw bell peppers in burritos, raw bell peppers in all the salads.
Where are you getting raw bell pepper on a burger?
Is this what Canada's known for? Bell peppers?
Wait, I see. So they're putting raw bell peppers on a burger?
Yes. On everything. I have to literally, even if it doesn't say it on the menu, I have to say no bell peppers, please. Because it's implied that it's on there. I am honestly, that's one of the most shocking things I've ever heard in my entire life. And if you fly Air Canada from Los Angeles and you have breakfast, they will you have to be constantly on the defensive that a bell pepper is going to show up in your food. Constantly. Oh, I'll have sushi, please. No bell pepper. One more thing I got to worry about. That's good to know, though. That's a good. Listen, when everyone does their Handmaid's Tale and comes up here, just understand what you're getting into. There's freedom, but there's also bell peppers. I get it. Well, not quite as shocking. Effective May 7th, Utah will officially become the first state to prohibit flying the pride flags at school and all government buildings because, it'll be by the way, you want to know who else does this? Who else enacted this? Russia and Hungary and Poland. So all those places, and now Utah. Now. Good job. Utah will fine people or these institutions $500 a day for flying any flag other than the United States flag, the Utah state flag, military flags, or the Olympic flag. Because it has rainbow colors in it? No, they won't get fined for that. So the Olympic flag you can fly. What among some others. Yeah. Well, I already have the scam. What's the scam? You just fly the Olympic flag during Pride Month. I agree. Or we start putting up a fund in Utah where it's like, you want to have the flag flying free? We got a fund for you, baby.
Hell yeah. I will also say this. The governor did not sign this, but by not signing it, it gets enacted because it'll just get overridden. Like, in other words, like signing it says, I agree with this. Not signing it says, I don't really agree with this, but also I'm not going to put my name on. I'm not going to
I don't agree with it, but I'm a coward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And his name is Spencer Cox, truly looking like, he kind of looks like a baby, to be honest. He's like bald like a baby and, just is...
like the JD Vance memes.
Exactly, but not as confident as a baby. Babies are so confident.
Yeah, they have no reason to be.
They don't give a fuck. They just walk in like, I'm the only one here, babe. I don't care.
All eyes on me.
You look at me funny, I'll scream because that's how I'm feeling.
If
I'm scared, you're going to hear about it. If I'm happy, you're going to hear about it.
I think we could learn a lot from babies.
I agree. Like, not talking. So, the law explicitly bans the display of, quote, political, ideological, or religious flags. So, in theory, it also means that political flags like a MAGA flag or something like that, which I've never seen, but maybe they exist, could also not be flown. But it was designed to target LGBTQ plus pride flags. And it was designed to specifically ban the use of the pride flag in any kind of school. So this was first introduced, by the way, in the state legislature by Representative Trevor Lee, who honestly, he of the notorious six head. It's not a four head, it's not a five head. It is full six head, none the richer, honey. I've never seen a forehead like this. He said he did this.
Could you land a Cessna on it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Maybe even a Learjet.
And I'll tell you something. If you think that we're above body shaming a fucking GOP person,
oh my God, not at all.
Wrong.
Give me a break. What's the point of this? He said it was to protect children in schools, but the message of the pride flag is inclusivity, acceptance, and curiosity, especially to school. What do those colors and symbols mean? Who are they representing? And if we can't teach the three tenets of inclusivity, acceptance, and curiosity in our schools, then what the fuck is the school system for? Climbing up a rope and failing?
Did you have, or getting a boner?
Yeah.
Did you have there was a group at my high school, and now I'm forgetting the name of it, but it was like Brotherhood of Christian something, sports. It was like Christianity plus sports. And they were like a very specific, I think it's a Texas thing, where they would say the prayer at football games.
Beautiful. Yeah, no,
Brotherhood of Christian Athletes?
I don't
Something like that. Did you have that?
Maybe.
Did you go to private school?
No.
Mm.
But I did. Through 9th grade, and then for high school went to public school.
Oh, well, then you would have known because this was in high school.
And my brother.
Oh, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That's what it's called.
I don't remember this.
Does it ring a bell?
No, and they would just go on the field and say a prayer before. Well, first of all, I never went to a game. But second of all.
Well, I was made to.
They would just go and say a prayer before the game.
International nonprofit Christian sports ministry based in Kansas City. Yes, and my high school had one. And it was for the fucking, essentially what we now know as red. I have never had better training for the fucking situation that we are in right now.
Oh, me too.
Than living in Texas.
Are you kidding me? Living in my
Growing
home.
up in Texas?
Yeah.
I can't, make this make sense.
What pisses me off so much is that, as I mentioned, flags like the pride flag, also like the BLM flag, are there to promote awareness and inclusivity. And these people's conservatives' complaint is that the pride flag is a political flag, but you're the ones who made a flag political, girl. Do you know how much it must mean to a kid growing up in Utah to see a pride flag being flown or hung in their school or even their government buildings? Like, what a sense of relief that must bring to someone growing up in a conservative state to know that your government or your school, even symbolically, has your back. That's everything. So as I mentioned, the flag was introduced by Trevor Lee, six head none the richer, and then also enacted but when it went to the state Senate, Dan McKay, who smiles with his top teeth resting on his bottom lip, which I hate. You know, one of these moves.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't know how to smile.
No. So he does that a lot, which I cannot stand.
Do you think they're flippers?
No, I don't think they're flippers, but I do think he had braces. I mean, his teeth are nice. I just don't like when they rest on someone's top lip when they're smiling, or rest on their bottom lip. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
So he tried to spin this after he pushed this forward to go to the governor's desk by saying, you know what the good news is? Now you can fly the American flag or the Utah flag, and you don't have to limit its size. Isn't that exciting? So the flag can be any size you want when you fly. Who was complaining about that? Who was saying, God, it really sucks that every flag we fly is too small or too big?
But it doesn't even make sense. Are you saying no because you have, like, is everyone limited a square footage of flag area?
Not that I know of. So and who has ever once complained about that? It's so stupid. And also like, treat me like I'm an adult, dude.
Where are your flags made, bro?
Exactly.
Where are your fucking flags made, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for those of you who were concerned, I really wanted to fly a flag the size of a football field, and I wanted it to be the Utah state flag, which to many people, Erin, you know this, that can't be big enough.
No, I whenever I'm termiting my house in
you tent your house in flags.
In the American flag, yeah. That's the only. I can do Beetlejuice pants or the American flag when I choose my tenting for my termites.
Absolutely right. So in a letter to legislative leaders talking about his decision to not sign it, which means it would be enacted.
Yeah, his coward treatise.
Correct.
Yeah.
Governor Cox said that he agreed with the underlying intent, quote, of the bill to make classrooms politically neutral. What the fuck are you talking about? But said that it went way too far in regulating local government. So he was fine with the school part, just not the government part, which to me is terrible.
Classrooms aren't politically neutral because every history class
you're making them
red state
politically crazy. Red state. You're the ones making them political.
You know, the only place that's not political, geometry class.
It's so, and by the way, I nearly failed it.
It's because it's boring as hell.
It's so fucking boring.
You want me to prove something to you? I'll prove something. I don't like this.
So Governor Cox said, to our LGBTQ community, I know the recent legislation has been difficult.
No, you don't.
Politics can be a bit of a blood sport at times, and I know we've had our disagreements.
He used the term blood sport?
Yep. I want you to know that I love and appreciate you, and I am grateful that you are part of our state. I know these words may ring hollow to many of you, but please know I mean them sincerely.
I think the weirdest thing to say is that it rings hollow, but I mean them sincerely.
Exactly. That is like truly when someone murders someone and then apologizes to the family. You're like, I don't give a fuck what you have to say to me.
Do unto others, you fucking motherfucker.
By the way, did you know that Salt Lake City leans liberal? Like it's a mostly liberal town? I didn't realize that, I guess. And I think part of that has to do with maybe, things film more there now, maybe with even though the festival Sundance was in Park City, they're moving it to Boulder.
To Boulder, yeah.
Starting in 2027. I think partly because they're getting some tax incentives.
Santa Fe was on the list.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Well,
but we don't really have the infrastructure.
Well, Sundance said they're trying to do it to align themselves with a place that's more in line with their values. But also there are many tax breaks in Boulder that are in Colorado that are not. So I think it's probably a combination of both, which fine, fair enough. But in Salt Lake City, people are really pissed about this and are kind of being shady as hell in all the good ways because local leaders there are illuminating Salt Lake City and county buildings in rainbow lights every night to protest the flag ban.
Because it's not a light ban, it's a flag ban, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
What if you projected a flag onto a school?
I wonder, actually. I wonder if they define what a flag is.
What's a hologram?
Correct. Yeah, you could put Tupac up there with, the pride flag or something.
Yeah, with Elvis
or Whitney,
or whatever.
Or anybody. Yeah. With Elvis, exactly. ABBA. So,
ABBA's not dead.
No, but they have a hologram show.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, outside of London.
They didn't want to wait till post-mortem.
They're making a killing. Do you know that their hologram show outside of London is like a big hit? and they have costume changes in it. Like they take breaks. The holograms. Yeah.
Why?
Like there are breaks in the show.
So people can pee?
They say it's because of costume changes, but really
But that doesn't make any sense. Edit it out.
0 cents.
How long is the show? Is the show like 4 hours long?
I think it's like 2 hours.
I don't like the future.
Yeah. Other states are trying this stunt. In Idaho, there's a flag ban in place, but it only applies to schools, not government buildings. So Utah's gone the furthest because they've done schools and government buildings, but Idaho is a step behind them because even though it's not, the flag ban isn't allowed on government building, like they can't ban the flag on a government building yet in Idaho. That's just for now because they have a separate bill in motion right now to ban it on government buildings. In Florida, lawmakers are advancing a bill to ban pride flags and any other, quote, political viewpoint that is on a flag in schools and public buildings. Even though that's already failed twice there's a third one in motion right now to get passed. And as I mentioned before, the places that are doing this now, which include, by the way, Hungary, which is full anti-pride now and is trying to enact that. There are so many protests in Hungary right now against this. I want to know, because Hungary is an EU country. So when do they get involved and say like, hey, this is not cool with our mission statement and with what we are doing? They've done it before. I hope they do it again here. I know that Europe is like hanging in the balance right now and kind of doing a real tightrope because they can't consider the states as friends anymore. They've got, the Russia-Ukraine situation happening. So I know that they're all terrified right now, but at least step up for human rights in Hungary, honey. And because you do have good LGBT laws on the books to be a member of the EU, which is why some countries like Turkey and others are not in it. I mean, not exclusively why, but that's a part of it. Why their applications get denied. So I hope Europeans are doing the right thing because, honey, we're over here looking to Russia and Hungary and Poland for ideas on what to do next. It's bleak. So all over a flag. It's so stupid. So anyway, I don't know. Get
your projectors ready.
Correct.
Not to circle back to Fellowship of Christian Athletes, but I just want to show you this website because I want you to look at this man's glasses and the gentleman they decided to. If you took a football out of this man's hand, this is Fire Island to me. He's got Gucci sunglasses on.
100%. He's got a beard that almost looks fake.
Those glasses are straight Prada.
For sure. No, he does. He looks.
This is what they do. Do you want to read it, Brian?
Serving Butch Queen. What we do, we seek to make disciples through our strategy of engaging, equipping, and empowering coaches and athletes to know and grow in Christ and lead others to do the same. So
they're using athleticism to
proselytize. I got to say, why is this a nonprofit? Who's donating?
Oh, it's by the way, they were all over our school. And by the way, I got to give it to the fucking 90s because in the 90s, we did not we would fucking be like dork if you were into Christianity too hard.
Well, yeah.
You would have to people would go to church on Sunday, but then in
that was
school,
almost more cultural in
yes,
Texas.
but in school, if you were carrying around your fucking Bible, people were like, nerd. Okay.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. I don't know why they target athletes, but it's also most of the people on this page are male. So that tells you a lot. Mm-hmm. Which actually goes into my shoe today. I have a BOGO.
Oh, good.
Okay, I have a BOGO today. Do you watch the Ezra Klein show?
I don't.
I'm sorry, watch. By watch, I mean listen.
Yeah, no, I don't regularly, but I have and have appreciated it for sure.
Well, I want to just highlight this episode from last week with David Shor, who is the head of data science at the Democratic consulting firm Blue Rose Research, which is the name I cannot get behind.
Well, it's not naturally occurring.
No, and that's what my problem is that they're either died or they're some kind of like freak of nature.
Totally.
Someone has hacked the Rose.
Oh, I'm sure.
DNA, but it doesn't come out blue. It comes out like purple. Anyway, it's not a real thing. So I guess I don't know who thought through this name. But I recommend you listen to the episode. It is really dense. There's a lot of data. But if you're waiting to have your dog shit outside, you haven't had a bowel movement in 2 days and you're concerned, it might be a good way to pass the time while you're walking your puppers.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it in the bath.
Okay.
Here's places I wouldn't listen to. Okay. Bath, before bed, before work.
Before and also if you bring someone home.
Yes, not while you're trying to seduce someone with your sexuality.
Right.
And your sensuality and your candles and your negligee, your oysters Rockefeller,
absolutely.
your
pantyhose,
Chianti, the heaviest red wine you could ever drink. Why it's associated with romance, I have no idea. So you're just priming yourself for acid reflux when your stomach is all gushing around.
There you go.
I would listen to it while you're vacuuming, while you're doing something else.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I wanted to talk about one specific thing from this episode, which is about they're kind of talking about why the Democrats lost. And it wasn't the reasons that you think, most people think, but this will be no shock to people who listen to this show. What Shor said on the episode, he said, what's crazy is if you look at the people under age 30, the gender gap has exploded. 18-year-old men were 23 percentage points more likely to support Donald Trump than 18-year-old women, which is completely unprecedented in American politics. Now, I will say this. I'm not sure I agree with this as a number. I mean, do I agree with it as a fact? Yes. Do I agree that it's unprecedented in American politics? I'm not sure, because women weren't allowed to vote the entirety of this country. And so it's really hard to say if there has ever been a moment in time that doesn't match this one, because there's no way to talk about, like, did women feel differently than men who weren't allowed to vote? Probably. There's probably been chasms before, but as far as like modern times, this is the largest chasm.
Right.
And it's not just happening in the US, it's happening in Canada, UK, Norway.
I believe it. I think this is all, you're going to tell me, but I think this is all big backlash to this sort of like men do better thing that is so logical, but you can't put men under heat for too long.
No.
They just explode.
They'll crack, baby. They're like a fucking hot dog at a 7-Eleven.
That's right. They can eat shit for this long. And then they're like, oh, this is wrong. Yeah.
It's like, Quit Like a Woman, Holly's book. She talks a lot about, in that book, about how Alcoholics Anonymous doesn't really work for marginalized people, because part of the tenets is constantly apologizing. And if you are a marginalized person, you're born apologizing.
Right.
So it can compound the reasons that you drink.
Yeah. I could see that.
But they were saying that it's manosphere shit. But what's happening is that social media, online interactions, and internet niches are much more gendered than real life. That you can siphon off into your own world and circle jerk the bad ideas that you have, and they are reinforced. The algorithm goes, oh, you like this? How about more of this? Oh, you like this? How about more of this? Reinforce. You essentially, like a porn addict, become enveloped in these bad ideas, and they become very gendered, and you don't know what's happening in someone else's world, because you too are getting, so like, as we're getting fed, I'm sure you are on social media, like progressive things, progressive news. These are amazing things that are happening. These are bad things that are happening, but they're all within the world that we care about. These young men are being fed Andrew Tate, all this fucking manosphere shit, this essentially fucking cage match world. that
Andrew
they want
Tate,
to
by
live
the way,
in.
is a central figure in adolescence. It's all about incels.
Upsetting. I would karate chop the phone out of my son's hands.
Of course. No, it's horrifying.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So.
But you're right. You can build more. It's easier more than ever to build your own world.
Yeah. Even though when you're going out in the world.
Tailor your news, the info you're getting, your friends. I mean, to really just live in a true skin tight bubble at this point.
I think listen, I'm not talking to anyone listening to the show, but if you have a niece or nephew that needs an intervention or something, like you might be their only lifeline if their parent's not. There's a weird thing now where like we have gone from people absolutely inserting themselves in other people's parenting style to people absolutely afraid to talk about it. Like I have friends whose kids are on screens and I'm straight up like, that's bad for them.
You know, Erin,
I'm not talking about.
You can talk when you have a child. How about that?
No, here's the thing. It's not mommy needs a break. It's watching a kid with a spinal issue looking like a fucking turtle.
Sure.
Like this.
Yeah.
Cracked out.
Yeah.
Okay. And I do have children. They just happen to be adults.
So unappealing about also watching a grown-up on their phone. It ages you because you're hunched over. I don't know. And I'm obviously I'm on my phone a lot.
Would you fuck me?
Exactly, though. Watching someone on their phone, you're just like, can you just sit up straight? I'm including myself. But it's just like, can you just throw your shoulders back for 5 seconds? Thanks.
Hey, how about this? Grab a fucking book. Grab a book.
Or get internet
Mary
glasses.
Shelley's The Last Man. Which is, this is a heartbreaker. Don't read this right now.
Or you could get like the Apple glasses. That way you don't have to hunch over.
Yes. Anything.
Yeah.
Get this beautiful book about a vampire. Huh? I found a very good bookstore. Shout out to Helicon Books, independent booksellers in North Van.
You know, Erin, this agenda of yours.
You want the coolest books? With titles you've never even heard before?
This is your place.
This is your place. I stumbled upon it. It couldn't have been a better day. Okay, so this is my BOGO. Oh wait, I want to show you this picture. What's your temperature on seeing a picture of my genitals?
Pretty damn cold.
Okay, well I'm going to show you this other picture then. Okay. These are states that are most likely to foster power and influence for women. Look at the breakdown. Is anything shocking about this?
No. I mean, all the southern states, women have less power. And generally the bluer states, I would say almost exclusively, feel like they have more power or do have more power. Yeah.
So nothing shocking there, but interesting to see the facts behind it. And we do need facts, unfortunately, in this day and age, because we have gone from an era where people don't believe women or their experiences to a place where we have so much misinformation that we have to have like facts on facts on facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a no duh for me, but Australia and New Zealand researchers work together. Love it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
How come? So Australians are called Aussies and New Zealanders are called Kiwis.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Researchers have found that menstrual cycles don't affect brain performance. Now, this is a no duh for me because I have for 46 years worked through a period. I mean, whatever, minus 12. I've worked through a period. I've gone to school in a period. I've gone to school and taken the SATs while having absolute, what'd you call it? River? Brown River?
Dark River.
Dark River.
Yeah.
Associated with menstruation, cramps so bad that they were close to a heart attack, and I took the SATs. So, no duh. But anyway, we have to have facts. So, and you might recall, Brian, which I know you remember all my gynecology stories, but I went to a gynecologist in LA who was a queer man who told me that he didn't think women should be in leadership positions until they've hit menopause because of hormones.
I swear to God.
This was after he put his finger in my butthole.
How many injectables did he have in his face?
None, but this wasn't that time. But I haven't circled back.
Okay.
And my friend, my very dear friend who recommended him to me, I told her this story because she was mad at me because I kept going to my gynecologist who took the IUD out and made it make a puppet noise.
Right.
And she was mad because I kept going back to that guy. So she told me to go to this guy, and then this guy did this, and she still goes to him. Make it make sense. Okay. So researchers looked at 102 studies covering close to 4,000 women and looked at the changes in everything from attention, intelligence, executive functioning, motor function, spatial ability, verbal ability, and creativity. They said that although menstruation is often treated like a disease that impairs women's ability to function, they found no evidence for significant changes in cognitive performance across a cycle. No shit.
Please.
No shit. Also, it's just always a bummer that we have to put numbers and science to a fact that most people who menstruate already know, but you have to have people prove stuff so people can believe.
That's the thing.
Did you know that Cher's Believe was all about saving money on clinical research? She was like, if you just believe,
yeah,
you won't have to do all these tests.
You know what, though? It's true. I mean, you just sometimes have to arm yourself with like, no, they did a study and you're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Did you know that If I Could Turn Back Time was about putting more effort into passing the ERA? Like all of Cher's songs are really about
subliminal. Yeah,
yes, exactly.
For her. I believe
exactly.
That. Yeah.
Brian, we got some Patreon comments.
We did. Now, some of these are regarding the
Henry.
The last episode. This first one is from Paul, who says, you know that Richard E. Grant gay paid for his drinks with a stolen credit card. Now, that was when I went to Drinks with Peru and that he told Peru, don't marry that guy. Evan Van Ividorthang says, weird interactions with eccentric older gays is kind of the whole point of going to Julius, as far as I'm concerned. I should know. I am rapidly becoming an eccentric older fruit myself. Honestly, more power to him. I love an eccentric older fruit. They're my bread and butter.
Alex Madrid, or Madrid, depending on what part of the country you live in. Sure. They call it Madrid in New Mexico. I'm shocked to see El Cerrito in this episode title. I used to live there in a pirate ship house.
Wow.
And most people haven't heard of it. I was worried it would be something bad, but this episode description sounds great.
We have a link to the pirate ship house.
Okay, let's look at it.
Oh, it's 7 minutes long. It's actually kind of pretty. I'm just kind of scrubbing through.
Oh, interesting. It's just a lot of like,
the inside's nice. All that woodwork.
A lot of woodwork. Oh, a lot of portholes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the more I look, it's not bad though. You lived there? That is so fucking cool. Here's some more regarding that new thing we're doing that we did last week. Addie B says, is Salon Selectives the one that kind of smelled like apples?
Yes.
I feel absolutely it is.
Absolutely.
By the way, when you said that, Addie, I immediately had a sense memory of it. I feel like I can pull the smell up in my memory, but not sure if that's the right brand. It absolutely is. Well done.
Oh my God, it smelled so much like apples.
Jeannie McCorney said, I can see you sneak eating, Brian. You have to move farther to the side. I make this mistake all the time. How dare you?
Gwen Evans Reed, who is the lawyer you do not want to tussle with.
Absolutely not.
Said, my parents sent my sisters and I to etiquette school when we were kids. It was called Pretty as a Picture and took place in the furniture section of a JCPenney's.
I'm gonna die. That's the best thing I've heard in years.
The best part was they told us we didn't have to practice good manners at home. My dad was pissed. I love whoever Gwen,
honey,
this is a documentary. Who was that teacher?
Honey,
who was that teacher?
I want to take it. I would take any course in the furniture section of JCPenney's, just so everyone's clear.
Did you take did you do Sears driving school?
I didn't, did you? But I knew they
Yes.
had one. I didn't. I did some like lame off-brand bullshit one. Vince said, I don't want children, but I will have one just to put them in Brian Safi Presents Pizzazz. Absolutely. Enlist your children now. Pizzazz. And by the way, I'm franchising it. I've already decided. There is a wait list, but I'm going to franchise it. Alma said, who needs schools or the Department of Education when we have Brian Safi Presents Pizzazz? Couldn't agree more. And Andrew Dana says, check out Brenda Dixon's Instagram. It does not disappoint. Erin, if you scroll down, I've never seen someone use filters with more abandon than Brenda Dixon.
This is shocking. Where is she, do you think? Good morning. Life is a gift. Enjoy it. Have a fantastic day and night. Photos by Dan Kennedy. Who's Dan Kennedy?
A cartoonist?
She refuses to be in a photo without flowers.
This is wild.
Her hair is Trumpian.
How about the lipstick? She enhances it so much, I guess, in Photoshop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at this Game of Thrones thing on the left.
She looks great there. I mean, whatever that is, looks great there.
Who is this man with her? Who is this man?
It's either her son or her boyfriend.
Corrugated metal wallpaper.
Oh God, she's living the life, I'm telling you. Listen, go on over to patreon.com/attitudes to listen to this week's Dateline about Menage a Trois. And you can also find We Were Shoe there and all that stuff. So go to patreon.com/attitudes. And in the meantime,
thank you for sharing your laugh.
Thank you for sharing your laugh.